999WEFM.com. WeFM News online on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Sensational savings are here this summer at Courts Optical. Get a free pair of designer sunglasses with your glasses purchase. Now that's sensational. Free sunglasses and your glasses, and you can get it all with no cash. Choose from our flexible credit terms from 3 to 24 months to repay. At Courts Optical, the savings are sensational. You don't want to miss these deals. Conditions apply. See in store for details. Courts Optical. Value you can see.
Welcome back to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, it is time for second-level parking to be considered in Kingstown. This is according to Minister of Urban Development, Julian Francis, who was at the time speaking about the overall parking situation in Kingstown. Minister Francis made particular mention of the parking lot that is located opposite the Kingston Police Station, saying that it is time for the operators of that parking lot to consider the introduction of second-level parking. We hear more from the Urban Development Minister.
The car park on Bay Street, opposite the police station, it is time the operators consider second-level parking. It is a matter that has to be given serious consideration and investment, either by government or by the operators of the car park. They know what income they're making. They know doubling that parking space, what income you'll be making. Something has to be done.
Minister Francis also made mention of a design that has already been made for a 4-story car park and its possible location.
There is a designed 4-story car park there. That design was done about 3 years ago with a possible exit up on Mackey's Hill. So you take that building right up to the cliff and have an exit through the Murray Heights, between Murray Heights and High School, going out to Haddon. That was designed already. That is there. I don't know if an estimate and a formal proposal has since been put to the system. I'm not aware of it, but it's something that I'll be pushing to try and get, because that was one of the sort of decisions that was made in the early days immediately following the fire that raised the treasury.
That was the Minister of Urban Development, Energy, Airports, Seaports, Grenadines Affairs and Local Government, Julian Francis. Minister Francis was at the time speaking on Star Radio about the cleaning up of capital city Kingstown, discussing different measures being taken to accomplish this task, such as the movement of street vendors into the town's markets. COVID-19 hospitalizations in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are now up to 13 from 3, according to the latest COVID-19 update from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment. All 13 patients admitted for COVID-19 are unvaccinated. There were 9 new COVID-19 cases and 34 recoveries reported in the update, which leaves active cases of the virus in country at 127. There were no new COVID-19 deaths reported, which leaves that number at 115. Of the deceased, 9 were fully vaccinated, 1 was partially vaccinated, and 105 were unvaccinated. 31,088 people have received 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, while the number of COVID-19 booster shots administered have surpassed 4,000 at 4,001. Since March of 2020, there have been 9,291 COVID-19 cases reported here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Still on the local scene, a forum to critically examine and amend gaps within the education sector here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines commenced yesterday at the Methodist Church Hall. The Transforming Education Summit involved educators and policymakers from all levels of the education system in sessions designed to examine the challenges that confront the sector. Speaking at the event, Minister of Education Curtis King said inasmuch as the education system had made immense strides, it is important to raise the bar on quality education and challenge the many issues which hinder advancement at all levels of the education system. Chief Education Officer K. Martin Jacques said the global pandemic and the eruption of La Soufrière further impacted the existing issues with which educators faced, but also presented opportunities to develop a well rounded system to meet the needs of Vincentian students. UNICEF's Deputy Representative for the Eastern Caribbean area, Tanya Radosavljevic, said COVID-19 severely impacted face-to-face learning in the region, forcing stakeholders in education to adapt to new methods of delivery, but which posed other issues, especially when it came to access. The consensus coming out of this forum is expected to guide and inform overall education policies and initiatives. On to news in the region. Bermuda has become the latest Caribbean country to confirm a case of the monkeypox virus, while St. Lucia said it is monitoring 6 suspected cases, including 4 with no travel history out of the island. The virus has been detected so far in the Bahamas, Jamaica, and Barbados. The Bermuda Ministry of Health, which is working in collaboration with overseas agencies on the case, is investigating potential close contacts of the patient, a spokeswoman said on Thursday night. The virus, which causes flu like illness and a rash, has spread in a string of communities outside Africa since a cluster of infections was identified in Britain in early May. The ministry said in May that the island was on the alert for cases of the virus. Bermuda's acting health minister Jason Hayward said in a statement monkeypox is rare, not life threatening, and Bermuda is well prepared to detect the disease and take suitable public health measures to prevent its spread. The Guyana government is to table legislation as part of the efforts to prevent cases of suicide in the country. Guyana, the government will present a bill to Guyana's National Assembly to address preventative measures to combat suicide and mental health awareness. This is a bill that we have been working on for some time, and it encompasses things that we can do to prevent suicides from happening, said Guyana's Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony. And the bill also provides for the repeal of this section of the law that criminalizes persons who attempt suicide. This has been something that people have been advocating for a long time, to remove that section of the law, and this bill, once we pass it, it will repeal that section, he added. Guyana has one of the highest rates of suicide worldwide. The World Health Organization, the WHO, figures claim 44.2 in every 100,000 Guyanese take their own lives, compared to a global average of 16. The health minister admitted that suicide remains a haunting issue in Guyana despite the many efforts to address the issue over the years. On the international scene, a young adult in New York has become the first U.S. resident in nearly a decade to contract polio, state health officials say. The unnamed patient in Rockland County is said no longer to be contagious, but has developed paralysis from the virus. Officials say the person was unvaccinated and was probably exposed to an individual who received the vaccine that contains the weakened live virus. The last known U.S. case of the highly contagious virus was recorded in 2013. Once fed across the nation, the disease was largely eradicated by a national vaccination campaign that began in 1955. Annual cases quickly fell from fewer than 100 in the 1960s to fewer than 10 in the 1970s, and the US was declared polio-free by 1979. In the decades since, isolated cases of polio infection have been brought into the country by foreign travelers. And finally, in sports, 3 Caribbean athletes have advanced to the men's 400-meter finals at the World Athletics Championships in Eugene, Oregon. In the semifinals on Wednesday, Olympic champion Kirani James of Grenada won Heat 2 with a time of 44.74. He enters the finals with the 4th fastest time overall. From Heat 1, Jamaica's Christopher Taylor placed 3rd, running a season best of 44.97 to qualify. He enters the finals with the slowest time. And Jonathan Jones of Barbados finished in 3rd place in Heat 3 in a time of 44.78 to advance. The finals take place today, Friday, July 22nd, 2022. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Family fun days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Courts, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Courts Ready Finance. Family fun days are on now. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
Out with the old, in with the new. In the past, you complained when we failed.